Good afternoon, lovely spirits. It's the wise servant here, for some percent, Mr. Solace, peace and wisdom. Today I want to do this very deep but serious video. This Black History Month on my channel early. And when dealing with Black history, we need to deal with recent Black history as well. So I want to touch on recent times. But I don't want to offend anyone. But, things must be spoken. It's the only way. Now, we have our old and we have our young. So I'll give you an example. You have old rappers that come from my times and before. And they're more lyrical. And then you have the new young generation of rappers, and their rap is more goofy. It don't have nothing to do with like lyrics, but just, it's good. I like it, but to each his own. But my point is this. The old rappers, they speak down on the young rap music. They say, it's garbage or whatever the case may be. But my point is this. When the old speak against the young, you speaking against your own babies. Now, they may not be your direct child, but grasp. One generation is the father and mothers to the next, and so on and so forth. So when we speak against our young in this way, and we say, oh, the youngsters, man, they stupid, and you speaking against your own babies, in a sense you can say. And it's like we tear each other down. We don't even realize it. We tear the babies down before they even get anywhere. The old are more detrimental to the black race of people than the young. We tend to think the young is what's bringing the value down of the black race, but it's truly the reverse. It's the old. And old lost ways, and that slave mentality was instilled into a lot of our old. They were more close to the slave times. Now, how they felt inside is how they felt, but they still had to move in a conditioned slave, watch your step kind of way. And, tear niggas down, and, that slave against slave type of mentality. So a lot of our old, they don't realize this, but they have that instilled in their brain some sort, some, in an instance, it's there. And they say things against their own babies, not realizing it, because we all separate. Black people view themselves as all individuals, separate. They don't view themselves as individuals in a whole, but they view themselves as just an individual and fuck everybody. And it's a deep thing, because then we speak against our next generation and we paint the perspective for others. So the old speak against the young, the old rappers speak against the young rappers, and it depreciates their value in a sense. Not the old, but it depreciates the young's value before they even begin. Because you got old veterans like, nah, they ain't lyrical, and you have a lot of the young artists today, they kind of like independent for this reason. Because they kind of shot down before they even get a chance, and they being shot down by their elders. So it's a deep thing. Then the young, they feel like fuck the elders. They don't help with nothing, but they always shutting shit down, and they always got an opinion. But they ain't never did shit theyself, and this is where that comes from. In every generation it's the same, because my generation felt this way about our elders. You grasp? And my elders, they felt the same way about their elders. Like, man, they always come and talking shit, and they ain't do nothing. So I want you to grasp, that is the common factor right there. Every generation feels that way about their old, and every generation the old feels their way about the young, and we all eat each other up. No other race truly does this. Grasp. In Caucasian nationality, with white people and their genre of music, pop, you don't really hear the old white bands coming against Justin Bieber and really like, because we be campaigning. Like, it be deep. Let me move this a little closer. But we be campaigning like, it's not enough for us to have our opinion, but everybody, so we got to push our opinion off on others, and it go deep. It's like a campaign. But you don't see that with other races where they're like, oh, they kind of hold their young up and say, no, that's great. Even if it's garbage, they like, no, it's good. And we don't do that. So it's a deep thing. Mind you, the young, it's something good about this music because it's selling. So it's popular. So we can't try to paint the perspective for others. A bunch of other races is gravitating towards this, so this is the music of the times, and it's good. And the problem is a lot of older people in our race, they haven't ascended up. You know, it's all about growth. A lot of our elders haven't grown, so they still in the same place they was, taking up space. So it's a deep thing I want y'all to grasp. You got old 40, 50-year-old dudes still trying to rap. So this is what I mean. They haven't grown into something else. They still stuck in the way. And they trying to dictate a thing that they should have already leveled up past. And this is where the confusion is truly coming from. Because you got people standing in the same place for too long, and they have to move along and let those that's coming come into their positions, and it's deep. Black people don't have anything, so we try to hold on to nothing. Causes us not to ever get anything. So it's a deep thing. We just got to change our perspectives and the way we think. It's truly simple things in life, you know. Change a little perspective here and there. Don't be so lost in ego where you can't hear what others have to say. Now, I know many of you watching and say, well, Silas, you don't listen to blah, blah, blah. Y'all have to grasp. I'm wise. I hear. If I responded back to you, I heard you. It just wasn't, what you said didn't make any sense. But it's nothing to get mad over. And because people get mad. I be having people that have a lot of subscribers on YouTube, and they come to me with their theories and things, and I don't be shooting it down, but I just be telling them, like, that's made up. Like one brother said, do you know that cell phones steal sales from people? And I'm trying to explain to the brother that cell phones don't have sales. They have gigabytes and imitation of life. So sales is real life, and cells and atoms, this is real life. And cell phones have imitations of that, like gigabytes and things. And I said, you know, that's foolish, brother. I respect your comment, but that's foolish, and there's no truth to that. Just like that. Now, I'm texting this, so I guess he reads it in his whatever state he's in. So he took offense, and he was like, I didn't say cell phones have sales. So now he gets even more lost, because the point was simple. I was explaining to him. If cell phones are stealing sales, well, then they have to have them. Grasp. If I take sales from you, then I have them. I have your sales. So when he said I didn't say cell phones have sales. Yes, you did. Because you said cell phones take sales from people. So he's like, people get, and then when I be like, you're getting really lost, brother. Peace and wisdom, bye. They really take it more offensive. Like, oh, he's trying to play me. I'm not trying to play you. You're completely lost in your emotions. You don't even grasp. Arguing with yourself, because I ain't said nothing wrong to you. I just said that that's a lie. Like, you know. A lot of people bring me their theories. They think the things I teach are theories as well. And my perspective, this is life I'm teaching y'all. You know, theory. But they kind of cloud the I guess it gets fuzzy. The line gets fuzzy between actual factual knowledge and theory. So then I guess they take offense, but it's deep. That made no sense. Cell phones don't steal cells from y'all. I mean, maybe brain cells. I'm just playing. Cell phones don't steal cells. But, they do have an effect on people's body, their brain. I'm just saying that because you see what he said. And he's like devoted. He said, I have a YouTube channel. I have more subscribers than you. 3 times as many. You're nobody. And I'm like, damn, brother. Those are people. He views them as subscribers that help build himself up. It's deep. He's trying to piss me off. But I'm too wise. And I'm too real with himself. So I'm like, it just didn't sound right. I'm like, you got 3 times as many subscribers. Those is people, brother. Like, they depending on you to give them truth they don't have. And you like, nah, them just my numbers. Those are numbers. And I get paid off those numbers. And it's deep. I don't want to get caught up in all of that, where I get lost and feel like I need to defend myself against foolishness like that. It doesn't matter if I have 3 times less followers than you. Like, I don't want to get lost in that, man. Them people, man, they depending on us. And I got 8,000 people or so that depend on me to give them knowledge they wouldn't have otherwise. And that's all I truly focus on. It's not, I don't really care about all the extra stuff. 8,000 followers, whatever. All that come with time. So, a lot of these brothers, man, they had their channels since YouTube started. And like Vlad TV and all these people, they've been around for so long. So they have a lot. I'm not in a rush to compete with men that put their time in longer than me. You dig? So it's like, it is what it is. It's fair. Whether they... Not talking about Vlad, he just interviewed people. But like people that been here teaching before me, they've been here longer. So it's fair they have more followers or subscribers or however they like to view it. It's just people, like. And I'm a person, I don't know. Everything's weird, everybody's a robot. But I just want to tell a brother, man, you're lost. Cell phones don't steal sales, and it doesn't matter how many subscribers you have. And it's a deep thing because I checked the brother out. So I clicked on his profile on Facebook or whatnot. Found his YouTube channel. And he have like 50 Facebook friends. And I guess he just has a YouTube channel to view videos. We all have YouTube channels whether we use them or not. But you have it so you can view certain videos that may be like 18 and under or whatever the case may be. So if you look at my YouTube channel, I had a YouTube channel since 2013, but I wasn't on YouTube until like 2 years ago. Like exactly 2 years ago. So I looked at his channel. He doesn't have any subscribers. He has like 5 or 10. It was like that. Like a YouTube channel that people have to view videos. And he pretty much made everything he set up, Not the cell phones. He made that up too, but he even made up his own life. He made that up too. Like he's like, I have 3 times more subscribers than you, and he has no subscribers at all. He has like 3, and he has like 58 Facebook friends, and it kind of broke my heart. I'm like, this is pathetic. Like, let me reword that. I'm like, this is bad in life. He put all that on himself. I don't even view that as important. YouTube subscribers, and I have the least. But he felt the need to be like, no, I'm better than you. I have more, and then you made it up. It's like, why put that on yourself? You make yourself feel bad because within he knows he doesn't have a YouTube channel or anybody listening to him. So it's just deep. It's like we put so much on ourselves. We all live in this conditioned perspective that's been placed upon ourselves with the status and I'm better than you, and then the next person comes along, they're like, I'm better than you, and it really means nothing. We kind of get lost in that kind of mentality where we're like, so concerned with how we're perceived that we never take a moment to realize that, like, we're a slave to perception. We're a slave to others' perception, so we kind of like just, pulled in so many directions. And this is why famous people be breaking down like that, because they got, the more followers you have, the more directions. It's deep. It's a lot. The way on a person. And it's sad when you have people that don't even have that. They don't even have those problems, but they put them on themselves, like poor people. They put rich men's problems on themselves. Like, you have poor kids and they tease each other because this kid has on the new Jordans and that one doesn't. And now the kid that has on the new Jordans, he has to keep up with that persona, which is truly like a rich person's persona. Wasting your time worrying about what new is out. But that's what I mean. We place this on ourselves, and now the poor kid that doesn't have on the Jordans, he feels bad. And the kid that has on the Jordans now, being as though he teased him, he has to keep up with that persona, or you look like a damn fool. So even the little babies, they kind of put rich man's problems on themselves, and they get this from the parents, and it's a deep thing. This is passed down, and we put the problems of the rich on ourselves, and we're poor. So it's deep. So then, you have the kid, he always feels like, man, I have to have the Jordans off. And he really has those stress that rich kids have. And they don't even really have those stresses because rich people wear dirty shoes. Look at the rich people. They have on like dirty Vans. And they always make sure it has dirt on it. I think that's the style for the rich, no lie. I'm not being funny. Like, really look into this. I think in today's times with the rich, they like their tennis shoes to look dirty, like they worn them. That's probably like vintage, and they like their clothes to look worn. And I think that's like a new little style with the rich, and with the poor it's in reverse. We like our things brand new, and like what just came out. Like rich people, they into the flip phones now. The old shit, the gangster with it. And, like the poor people, we went like the new phone that didn't even come out yet. So it's deep. We put rich people problems on ourselves that rich people don't even put on themselves because they like, I already got rich problems. I don't want the perspective problem. Fuck that. And, we just kind of go against ourselves. It's deep. It's so deep. But, we think we have to do these things. It's deep. And we put a lot of stress and strain on ourselves and we push this out to one another. And it's a deep thing, People just in low spirit, negative spirits in the black race, for the most part. Even those of us that's high up and have a lot, they're even in lower spirit than the poor. When I say low spirit, I don't mean like their actions, but just the way they feel. Like, we tend to think rich people feel great, and they don't. They just rich, Their life is a little different than yours because they rich, but they feel terrible like how you do. They don't own anything like how you do. And, when I say own anything, I know we have business owners, but they don't own their business. The government truly owns the business. He who owns the land owns truly whatever we have. So, owning the land is what's important, and we just so far behind. Like, when slavery happened, they took over the land, they monetized everything. When I say monetized everything, I mean they took resources, controlled the resources, made a monopoly game or paper to represent these so-called resources. Trees, this, wood, syrup, fruit, many different things, and all the resources that the forest provides. Leather, food, clothes, shelter, all these different things that we pay for. And they kind of controlled the resources. They made the money to represent those resources. And then they pretty much put the people to work. They turned the forest into a city and made the people that lived in the forest pretty much work for the paper so that they can buy whatever resources they could afford, and they put a price tag on these so-called resources. Now, before that, people just had wisdom of what to do with the resources. So they turned the cotton into fabrics, the animals' hides into fabrics. They knew what to do with the food. They knew what to do. So everything we buy is just a matter of not knowing what to do and what true wealth is. And that all starts with land, and we kind of had a slow start right now because they took the land or whatever, monetized everything, as I said, and we lost in the monetize. We lost into the game that was created. We don't grasp the reality. Like, we understand the monetization system. We understand the system we live in, but we don't understand how that system is an alteration of the life that's taken from you. And you kind of been put in a game. Like Monopoly. You've been put into a Monopoly game, and you borrow from the bank, and you kind of try to avoid jail, try to play within the rules of the game so you don't get put in jail. And you borrow from the bank, and you try to make your money, pay the bank back, and at the end of the game, you pretty much eventually end up bankrupt or in jail. And then the bank don't ever lose in the game Monopoly. The bank don't ever go to jail or lose out on money. If the bank run out of money, then they just make more money. This is according to the game Monopoly. So that game is based on real life, but like I said, people lost into the conditioning of the game that they've been placed in, so they don't even realize, the games and movies that they watch are a mimic of the real life that they live. And they try to figure out the movies and the games, and they never really realize, that was done to you in real life first before a game was made out of it. Cowboys and Indians. When I was growing up, we had games like that. And we didn't really realize that, those made-up games, they came from, our real life. Our ancestors. And we live the reality of the game that we play. And it's just cold-blooded. But I guess people will grasp when they choose to. But as of now, the black race is pretty much eating itself alive. We kill ourselves. Then you have, racist Caucasians that like to kill us. I'm not saying all Caucasians is racist, but those that are, you have them killing us. It's just deep, we killing ourselves, then we have others killing us. We slandering ourselves, putting our young down. We have others doing this as well, so we just kind of add on to our own detriment. So it's a deep thing, but it's deep. It's almost like, we at hopelessness, but rock bottom is nowhere else to go but up. It's just a matter of when one goes up. But as of now, we at rock bottom. I know it appears as if we good. We got a lot of athletes, actors, entertainers, and they rich. But we don't know what rich is. So we really truly don't realize that these people are poor. And they're in the same kind of debt you're in, just on a larger scale. So it seems better. See, you can go get credit from the grocery store in your neighborhood. And they can go get credit from the local car dealership and ride around in the fly shit, and you go home with a nice little meal on credit, and it's deep. Eventually it catches up to you, and famous people, they paying their mortgages, and they buying things they have no need for that eventually, they have to try to sell and recuperate, and So everybody just kind of has the same life, trying to catch up and adjust for all the senseless things that we indulge in for the purposes of others perceiving us as big stuff. And this happens on the smallest level all the way to, like I said, on the biggest levels within the black, not just the black race, but I'm targeting this to the black race because this is my race and we need to get our shit together. Other races, you know, they gonna grasp and adjust whatever I say to themselves. So they know. It's just everybody just rise up and get the wisdom and grasp. But it's a deep thing. In a nutshell, I gotta get some cufflinks. But in a nutshell, in a nutshell, we have to, a lot of people gotta shake the pains and, you know, the pains and things that, the baggage that we tend to hold on to. We go through life upset, and there's a lot of guilt and anger and things that we hold on to that's truly foolish. We hold on to guilt and hate and anger against others, and a lot of times it be our fault. And we so lost in self, we don't even realize we angry at somebody, and it's our fault. We should be angry at ourselves, and it's deep. But people got to begin to get a peace within self, so, you know, they can begin to see the duality in things. As of now, we just tend to look for the negativity in people, and we just kind of want a negative cause. This is the entertainment. This is what we're entertained by. This is what we reach for. This is what we look for in people, and it's just negative times, and it's because a lot of built up things in people. But like I said, people just have to go through their conscious baptism. You know, this is one of the studies I teach. First, you go through your spiritual diet. And, you know, this is just making sure you feed your spirit, beginning to know the duality of self, and that who you are is the energy, the conscious, the source within, and that's you. And then you have the physical shell around that, which is the body, and that's you as well. But the body kind of took over, and you just want to get a sense back of self, spirit, and, you know, do things like make sure you feed your spirit. The spirit feeds off emotions. So you want to check for your emotional state, you know, before you indulge into your physical. When you wake up, before you feed your body, you want to feed your spirit. Check the emotional state you're feeding on and adjust that. You know, fix your plate, so to say, your spiritual plate. Reach for good thoughts and positivity, and, you know, it's going to be a great day. You know, I'm a great spirit. And, you know, balance yourself out. Shake all that out of yourself. And, you know, before you eat, physically, feed your spirit. And before you go shopping and indulge into all these things, make sure you feed your spirit. And, you know, am I doing this for myself? And really begin to balance yourself out and not be swayed by people's perceptions of you, but knowing who you are within and letting that begin to resonate out. And, you know, just be great and feel great. And then when you see greatness in others, it won't nitpick with your spirit so much, so to say. And then we can begin to rise each other up. This is why I did a video giving all the other teachers, you know, their salute. And then after that, I did a video, you know, speaking on the fake things that's done amongst the teachers as well, because the duality has to be right. It has to be balanced. So before I came out with the video putting the fake stuff on the table, I made sure I gave them their salute first, you know, to balance everything out. As opposed to doing that video first and then coming with the salute. And it's like, why did you do that? But no, I want to make it clear. I respect brothers, salute. It's all gravy. Now, aside from that, it's little goofy things that y'all do that's forced upon people, and it's kind of like a forced perspective, and I just wanted to address that and move on from it. So it's all simple, but you just got to cleanse your spirit out, and then you can begin to see people from a cleansed perspective. Even if they lost in filth, you can still see the beauty that lies beneath the dirt. And it's deep. So, and you go through your spiritual diet. This is one of my studies. Then when you get past that and you're a little more balanced out, then you can go through your conscious baptism. This is more physical, where you go through like a fasting and you spend a small time alone, really alone with self, uninfluenced, and kind of take being as though you're a little more balanced out now because you went through your spiritual diet. So you're more balanced out now. You kind of can spend time with self, and you have a sense of understanding of what's real, what's fake, and how we're conditioned. And when you go through your conscious baptism and you fasting and spending time with yourself, a lot is gained out of that. It's not a torture thing. We tend to look at fasting and things like this as torture, but it's only torture because of the moral state we're in. So it's deep. You wouldn't eat your kid or your pet. You would pretty much, if you were put to that choice, starve or eat your child or pet, you'd pretty much probably go to the last straw. Many would just die and say, I'm not eating my pet or my kid, so whatever. And those of you that say, I'm gonna fuck it, they gonna die anyway, so they dead, they starved out, so I'm gonna eat them. And my point of saying that is, you wouldn't view eating then as, this thing then as, I have to do it. It would be more like, from the moral perspective, you looking at it then, it's like, I'm good. So the negative things we indulge in is just because of the perspective we view from it. You viewed life for what it was, you would view the things we indulge in as living things that's being robbed of their life for one to indulge or fulfill a desire in his own. So life is interesting, it's deep. Like I said, the more morality is adjusted, the more one can grasp. And then, you go through your conscious baptism. And then you go through, get solaced in. You become a solace. So it's a deep thing. I did a video breaking all this down. This is just my way, my understanding of life. And, the way I push it out. I learned from life, as all wise men have. So the things we have in school, all the different philosophies, this all came from men who didn't attend schools, but they made schools, and they didn't follow philosophies, but they made the philosophies because they learned from life, from observing it, and just grasped. And we have these great things now because of people like that, and I have my own like those men. I see from my own eye, and I grasp. And it's good. It's deep. And then I just push it out how I do, the same way they pushed it out in their day, how they do. So I'm them in our times, and I just push things out that's unfamiliar at the times until men grasp. So it's a beautiful thing. But all this, then you go into your sperm is the spirit teachings, knowledge of shadows. These are just many different things that I teach. Like I said, I learn from the life, and I put it into words and things for people to grasp until they can gravitate to the life themselves and learn directly from the source, as we all are supposed to. So it's a simple thing. I want to go ahead and end this video and get to my day. But in any event, peace and wisdom. Start to catch the sun rising and sun setting, because it's a lot in that. Always take a time out to look up above. So every day that passes, you should have took at least 5 minutes to look up above. And when you get more accustomed to that, make sure you always catch the sunrise and catch the sunset. Even if you may be too busy one day to catch it, you always in life, so you can always stop for a moment and acknowledge, catching the beautiful scenery because the sky looks beautiful around that time, and it's a lot to see up above when the sun is setting and rising. So it's a deep thing. That's why they call me Pasunset. So you just grasp. It's a beautiful thing. And you just begin to acknowledge and grasp. But like I said, peace and wisdom.